story about this one. Ginsberg and I were going to see Henry Miller. And we were going to, this was in 56, we were going to go and see Henry Miller. And we didn't get to his house. Who we stopped to see was Weston, the photographer. A very old man who took lots of pictures of William Carlos Williams and all that. Edmund Weston. And pictures of Carmel out there with dead birds and whatnot. Well, it was raining, and when we visited him, when we were leaving, he says, "Don't get wet. I was a bohemian once." And the smell of prunes coming out of the house. Hey, Logan, do you know about Weston Wright doing the Williams thing, pictures with Williams? He's the one who spoke about Williams very beautifully to me. He died about 6-7 years ago. Weston? All right. A damn good photographer. Where is that poem you're talking about? Ah. You sure? Right. All right. This is a mixture now. I tried to remember when I put Ginsberg on, just getting him on, I don't exactly know what he said, because I was never like character. He was, man, oh, Lord, did he record so beautifully. I mean, he could go 10 hours with you and he'd get every word correctly. But I know that I walked down along the highway and then suddenly we start flipping out, screwing, not seeing Miller or anybody, and just talking as we went. Poets hitchhiking on the highway. Of course I tried to tell him, but he cranked his head without an excuse. I told him the sky chases the sun. And he smiled and said, "What's the use?" I was feeling like a demon again. So I said, "But the ocean chases the fish." This time he laughed and said, "Suppose the strawberry were pushed into a mountain." After that he knew the war was on. So we fought. He said, the apple caught like a broomstick, angel snaps and splinters old Dutch shoes. I said, lightning will strike the yoke and free the fumes. He said, mad street with no name. I said, bald killer, bald killer, bald killer. He said, getting real mad, fire stoves, gas, couch. I said, only smiling, I know God will turn his head if we sat quietly and thought. We ended by melting away, hating the air. I better pick a right one. Where's the man with the 28th page? What poem? Okay, that's heavy. That's heavy fucking poem. Hey, if I stop in the middle of somewhere, would that be all right? Okay. You know how this poem came about? I wrote that in 58 Bomb. And there's a lyric, a love poem to it. Because when I went to England, I saw all these people that banned the bomb, and I got spooked. Because I said, well, geez, that's a form of death. So bam, heart attack. Ban falling off the roof. Ban bad pork. And all that. And I got really scared. I said, well, why didn't everybody else go with the other banning of death? Yeah, well, that was a big problem. But the bomb did fall. It sounds like it never did, but this America did drop 2 of them on people, and I always got the spooky feeling that things have to come back on you. I don't know. I think America's paid enough weight without having to turning into a crisp and dying by a bomb. I think the bomb's old hat. It's had it out. Anyway, this is how I took it at that time. Budger of history, break of time, you bomb, toy of universe, grandest of all snatched sky, I cannot hate you. Do I hate the mischievous thunderbolt, the jawbone of an ass, the bumpy club of 1 million BC, the mace, the flail, the axe, catapult Da Vinci, tomahawk Cochise, flintlock kid, dagger Rathbone? Ah, and the sad, desperate gun of Verlaine, Pushkin, Dillinger, Bogart. And hath not St. Michael a burning sword, St. George a lance, David a sling, Christ a whip? Baum, you are as cruel as man makes you, and you're no crueler than cancer. All man hates you. They'd rather die by car crash, lightning, drowning, falling off a roof, electric chair, heart attack, old age, oh Baum. They'd rather die by anything but you. Death's finger is freelance, not up to man whether you boom or not. Death has long since distributed its categorical blue. I sing thee, Baum, death's extravagance, death's jubilee, gem of death's supremest blue. The flyer will crash, his death will differ with the climber who'll fall. The die by cobra is not to die by bad pork. Some die by swamp, some by sea, and some by the bushy-haired man in the night. You know why I got that image, the bushy-haired man in the night? When I was living in Cleveland with this woman that I married, I'm walking on the street. Police car stops her. Hey, where you come from? I said, what do you mean? I live right down here. Boy, you stopped me. He said, well, a lady said she saw a bushy-haired man walk down the street. Because they had some kind of murder years ago of this guy Shepard saying a bushy-haired man killed his wife. I don't know. All right, so, and some by the bushy-haired man in the night. Right. Oh, there are deaths like witches of Arc, scary deaths like Boris Karloff, no feeling deaths like birth death, sadless deaths like old Payne Bowery, abandoned deaths like capital punishment, stately deaths like senators, and unthinkable deaths like Harpo Marx, girls on Vogue covers, my own. Imagine the unthinkable death. I had to put myself in there. And the girls on the Vogue covers never died to me, but Harpo died. Yeah, he went. All right. I do not know just how horrible bomb death is. I can only imagine. Yet no other death I know has so laughable a preview. I scope a city, New York City, streaming, stark-eyed, subway shelter, scores and scores, a fumble of humanity. High heels bend, hats whelming away, youth forgetting their combs, ladies not knowing what to do with their shopping bags, unperturbed gum machines, yet dangerous third rail. Yeah, that third rail is still dangerous. Right. Ritz brothers from the Bronx caught in the A train. The smiling Shenley poster will always smile. Impish death, satyr bomb death. Turtles exploding over Istanbul. The jaguars flying foot, soon to sink in Arctic snow. Penguins plunged against the Sphinx. Oh, this is where I had the ball. Right. If you're going to have it all blowing up, where would you take the jaguar? But into the Arctic? Where would you put the penguin? But I thought the best thing, throw them against the Sphinx. Right? Now, here's what. Now, the Eiffel Tower, so straight, I had it like the wind blowing, so it would be like a C, right? And bending like a C, and ending up in the broccoli fields of Sicily. Right? No, that was not, I get it wrong. The top of the Empire State arrowed in a broccoli field in Sicily. The Eiffel shaped like a C in Magnolia Gardens, which is in South Carolina. Did you ever go to Magnolia Gardens, anybody? Good God, nobody's ever been there. What? Oh, crazy. Middleton Gardens, too? They're beautiful, beautiful places in America. And you never saw those, huh? Does anybody know where the word church comes from? That's the end of the poem. I don't want to read any more of that. that. Does anybody know where the word church comes from? Heavy, heavy. They never checked it out. Go to church, right? Where did it come from? Is it an English word? Yeah, I know, man. I know where it came from. No, I want you to tell me if you know something different. I'm a little confused about it. I think the man who made silver in this country made all the bread on silver. Remember, we only know America by the gold rush. People made money on gold, railroads, oil, and fur. Astor with fur, Rockefellers with oil, railroad with Vanderbilt. Who made the silver money? Your coins you got in your pocket today are not pure silver. Rare. Mr. Church with Vanderbilt. Who made the silver money? Your coins you got in your pocket today are not pure silver. Rare. So I made it Socratic. You can ask anything. And I think I got it in my head. I carried it in my head. If not in my back pocket, at least the first depiction of what you are as man, woman, human being. Does anybody here know the first depiction of the human being? Draw it. I'm going to just lay on you the mysteries. Do you know that anthropologists, archaeologists, geologists look for bone? They're looking for the skull, what's called missing link. And I found that fucker out. Missing link. All right. This man, when he came along, at the time when it was ape man to primitive man, I looked at what they ate. Today what you eat, I don't know what it makes you, but in those days they just ate plant. It was divisional. It was born to itself and it gave birth to itself. It didn't go forth seeds. There was no seeds. The first seed family was morning glory. See, so, you know, now by laughter, you know what the fuck that was, because what happened, the brain changed, not the skull, not the bone. It was a brain change by what they ate. And they zapped out, they did, and became man. Morning glory seeds, I hear, is a bum trip if you take it today. Like belladonna, things like that, right? Yeah. No? I heard it was lousy. All right. Morning glory. Morning. Gregory, spell right. The first man looked like this. He would never show his face. He'd always put a bird's head on his face or antlers on his head. And the first man depicted had antlers on his head. He was called the sorcerer, the shaman. Pass that baby around. He had his cut. He could not draw him with his perspective of the Egyptians would do the eye this way. There was two dimensions, they were flat. So he would have his cock coming out this way. Right? Where's the cock and balls? They're coming out that way, behind his ass. All right. That's how they placed him in cave paintings. Only beautiful bisons that they do. Beautiful, one unicorn, which had two horns, was considered a mythical character in their cave paintings. But cows, bisons, horses, and deer, swimming deer, in Lascaux. Andre Breton, a poet, wild, beautiful poet, surrealist poet, went to that cave when two kids found it and put his finger along one of the horses, a red pony it was, and put his finger, the paint came off on his face. It was done recently. Because the way the place was sealed, for 30,000 years, these were the Cro-Magnon people, the Organatian peoples, running away from the Ice Age. When you have a fire, and you was a wild, let's say a lion in a wood, right, or tiger, and you have fire, both of you are going to run away from the fire. You're not going to attack each other. Certainly the lion or tiger is not going to attack you. He's going to run away from that fire. And both of you run away from the Ice Age, from the fucking ice falling down on you, and you end up in the Costa Brava, Spain and France, where all the cave paintings are. What happened to my beautiful sorcerer? Right. So, these people, much later, the Morning Glory people. So what happened to this guy who's called Neanderthal, who just trudged heavily? He did not have any Ice Age to bring animals staying at the same place as people did. See, when they rested the animals, so did the people rest. And the people said, well, we got food, we don't have to go crazy and hunt for it. All right, they had, in the Paleolithic, considered pretty high class. Bear cult. They thought cromlechs was the bear's skull there, offering the best part of the bear, the brain, to the gods. But the foot of the bear they never found out. And then they realized what they did with the foot of the bear was this. They looked upon the bear as their great-great ancestor. Peoples did. Before they ate that bear, they gave the foot to the bear. Have some of yourself before we eat you. Can you imagine that? They healed that one foot, and he ate it, and he was happy, and then they manged him. Mangiare, mange, all right. Got it? Weird, huh? And you're all looking at me, but it's strange and it's so. All right, so these old professors and types are looking for that missing link, and it is not so. There is no bone that you got to look for. Brain, and brain rots away. All right. All right. Now another thing. Of course you're all young. I'll get you on this. Now here's another mystery. Here's one that's pretty wild. Why is it the Aquarian Age? I don't think it is. I mean, I know that fucking calendar. Yeah. 2 Yiddish stars. All the way. Right? Makes 12 points. Then, if you start off with Aries in the calendar, that was BC. 1 BC to 2000 BC would take you Julius Caesar, Alexander, war, right? Take Taurus. Then you take Crete, where they had the bull, where the worship of the bull. That's 2000 BC, 4000. This is the way the calendar really works. All right, now Taurus, right? Ancient Crete. Now this. What comes in that Gemini? 6000 BC when they first communicated. And they wrote cuneiforms and they wrote hieroglyphs. That's 6,000, right? 8,000, you're getting Gilgamesh and you're getting the Bible, which is Cancer, moon, affecting the tides, the water. This works. With the calendar, as they had it, now the old Babylonians were not stupid people, man, very, very bright. But suddenly you hear, I didn't hear 1940 or 50 about any Aquarian Age. They suddenly blasted out that it's the Aquarian Age. Bullshit. Pisces was the last, and that's fish. And that was Jesu. So I get fishermen of men. He was a fishman. You ever see Blake's great drawing of the fishman? And how can you go to there? How can you break the calendar and say, all right, it's January, December, November. Because November would be eclipse. Then Capricorn comes after you, that goat man. And you know the goat. When John Donne said, who cut the devil's foot? And who did? Man did. gave him a goat form. You want to get back to that shit? You want to get back to that devil? That's what Cap is. So where do you think you go from Aquarius? It's not Aquarius. Commutative, right? Air. It's an air sign. Communication. Like Gemini, communication. All right, so we got the 6,000. It just screws me up, though. All right, 8,000 got the flood. You get it in Gilgamesh, you get it in the Bible. Take all of your old books in your life chart, baby, and you'll get it that way. Now, what's that Leo? Regnant kingly. That's what they put the lion as, of course. If you look at the twin gates of Mycenae, you'll see 2 lions. Their heads knocked off. Right? All right, kingly. Then you get to Virgo, she, Mama Earth. Now, how far back is that? 8,000, 10, 12. You're going to get to a 24,000-year cycle. You know how they built that before? They didn't know there was sun. So beautiful. The sun takes 24,000 years to go around the galaxy. That's the great year. It's called the great year. So, you break it down to 12, like we have our calendar, but you give 2,000 years to each month. And 12 months makes 24,000. That's how they did it, the Babylonians, man. They couldn't live that long. You're right here today. They couldn't live 24,000 years, nor can you. But that's what they made for. So how do you think that? Aquarius. You gotta put a U after a Q. How do you do it? Why did you pick it? All you young fuckers say, yes, Aquarian age. It's Aquarian. Now, well, nobody's showed it to me yet. Nobody has showed it to me yet. But by singing a song. I've been to a beautiful house recently, Mr. Church's house. Church, that's his name. Yeah, high on a hill in New York State. And nothing of his house is this bullshit. Nothing. But he's got his Buddhas in the corner, golden Buddhas. He's got all the religions just in the corner where they're set. And he knew how the light would work. He's an Indian type. He built his tent? No, he built a castle. Where an Indian would build a tent, you get the right lighting. Everything that the light hits on, he uses it. He said, that's mine. Nobody uses the light. They'll build their houses and they'll have rooms maybe blocked off. Maybe, how do you know what the light is? 6 o'clock in the evening. Or 6 o'clock in the dawn to hit certain areas of the house. That's an architect. This man was an architect. And his name was Church. 1826 to 1900, Americano. Right? But went all over the world and brought it back. And knew how to place his house. Didn't put any of this shit. Think about the zodiac crap. That you're stuck with that, old Babylonians. You're stuck with it. Because, I'll give you the great hint. Christ had to be in the Pisces thing. If you're going to work that calendar, it had to be Pisces. Why then, if Pisces at the end of the calendar, do you go backwards and say it's Aquarius? It should start with Aries again. Aries is the beginning of the calendar. Who had the right to choose Aquarius? Anybody can tell me. Let's make it Socratic. Come on. Lay it on. Look how many people was here. Lay it on. All right, so I broke that one. All right, crazy. Come on. Right. That's why you want Aquarius, right? Because it's peaceful. Well, I'm sorry, baby, it's not peaceful. You're an Aries. All the way. You think Jesu left his 2,000 years with his Pisces. That's it. Now you're back there. You're going to get back to that bull. You're going to get back to Earth. Fire. Right? Earth, air, water, fire, earth, air, Libra. Yeah. The balance. I didn't put Libra, but that's weird because Libra is the balance. This one, Scorpio, always screwed me up in my own lifetime. Right? Thinking about Zodiac, I could play it, that game. All game. Somebody told me when I went to Church's house, he said, you know, Greg, what I did? I wrote that, this guy's telling me this, right? I wrote the card and everything and put it in a time bomb.
thing, putting in the earth, that people will find it 3,000-4,000 years from now. That it was a game player. Then they're all game players. That Stonehenge must have been a game player. What they did with Stonehenge, it is true that they were game players. Or Easter Island. They built those big heads like that on the ground, and they left their tools like they had to run away right away. So today we find that, yeah, they built them, but they had to leave quickly. What happened? What kind of bullshit is that? They would a long time do. They didn't have to leave when they were doing that. All right. So Stonehenge, you get two monoliths together, right? They knew, those fucking Druids, they knew when the light would hit between the two monoliths. And so it's fun. And between the monoliths, they put the statue of their god, whatever the hell it was. Folks, on the day of October 22nd, the light's going to shine zap through those two things and light up the god. And the people say, yeah, they're right. But they knew their movement of the sun. They studied that bit. The Egyptians did it too. Egyptians did it beautifully and crazily. 4,000 years the Egyptians were doing that bit. And what happened to them? You get it, yeah, well, you look at today, but I mean, you get something, let's say, cobra. This is what the guy who did the whole thing did. That was his side. That's the palace bit. The guy who did it all, that was his, called the scribe palace, right? All right, you build these things up, and suddenly they see them knocked down, and it doesn't have any permanence. It's stone on earthly things that have eternity and permanence. The Egyptians looked at immortality in a very weird way, because comes along one pharaoh, builds something, let's say this is 10 times old, let's say very, very big, this thing here. Right? We'll put our little Egyptian side. Alright? Let me say this is very, very big. Crazy. Alright. Then what happens is somebody comes up and puts their name on it. One man who says, build all this, build me my pyramids, can have somebody else come along and say when he's dead, knock off his name, just put my name and leave the structure. So no name took his immortality. But Egypt, as a conservation, Egypt did take it. Right? I was thinking so. You still see their beautiful pyramids, and they are lovely, and their springs and whatnot. It was pretty big, though. That's why I'm a Western man. I love my Greeks. You see, they did it very, maybe a little syrupy after a while. You know, but very beautiful bodies and whatnot, and that little temple on top of the Acropolis, the Nike temple, lovely. And that's delicate and small, and it's still there. And that can go, as anything else can go. But you capture it in your own head. See, I walk around in my head. When I saw that church's house, I said, yeah, I had it in my head beforehand. Knew what he put in his house, I put in my head. And that's where I think people can build their houses. In their head. When under the hate-Asper thing, when that was going real heavy, this beautiful guy who named Emmett Grogan. What a name, Emmett Grogan. Wow. Real sharp, he said to the guy, and the girls there, it's in your head. You don't stand on a street corner. You don't stand on a street named Haight-Ashbury. You move with it. You carry it with you. Let's see. All right. Now, anything? Come on. I'm a teacher this way to lay forth any course to you people. I'm a poet. I just give you from my head, boy, I wrote poetry, and this is how I do it. By these kind of things, and I question them. Now, there's some mysteries answers. Missing link. Right? I mean, people looking for skulls. I say it's in the brain. They can't find it. That's one mystery, a little alleviated. Some other heavyweights. I do know some. I got to just watch them.
How do they get the stone?
Through snow. Nobody knows it. Yeah, these big stones, 400 miles, and I went to sort of to find out. It's flat like that. That's flat, and 400, 500 miles. How do they carry those big stones, those monoliths, those complex? Obviously, they had no wheel. What they say they had was logs, and they carried the stone on the log, right? And people pushing along. Bullshit. They slid him along the ice. All right, so that's another mystery answer. Missing link, Morning Glory with the missing link. Right. Because it was only 30 years ago they said the Cro-Magnon didn't marry the Neanderthal. What? They marry and then what? Will they just sit in the corner and drop out after all the work that they did? So where did we come to then from there, though? What the fuck was he doing for 250,000 years? That's rough, man. It always bugs me. What the hell were they doing for so much time, these people? What woke them up? What did they do? What did they leave behind? Nothing, really. If you look at the Mexicans, Mayans, the Colombians, in the continent that you live in, this hemisphere, they're not that very old. Say maybe take them back 5,000 years. Yeah. And that's earlier that they came down. And only in this continent that we live in, called the United States of America, you don't have any rules left, except maybe with the Pueblo people, where are they? They're in Arizona, New Mexico. And they just built their adobe on the mountain. They use the earth to build their house, and that's pretty old. But how old? When you think of Sumer. I've read books, man, that they don't publish them anymore. They thought these guys were quacks. They were quacks all the time. And this guy was a quack considered in 1809. He went to Yucatan and said there's similarity, or obviously, and they'll see in Mexico City, they'll see the pyramids. So they say, look, gee, that's the same like in Egypt, right? Well, yeah, why is it the same? Think from Egypt they came here, or from here to there? Thor Heyerdahl just had his rock too. Leave a place in Morocco, or Spanish Morocco, not from Egypt, but Spanish Morocco. They take his pious boat and land, in the New World, so-called New World. That New World is no New World, it's the oldest world. Dinosaur bones are found in Montana. How fucking old we are. But going to the New World, yeah. Well, that's shit. And it's not new. So, I don't know how old Yucatan is with those beautiful eagle and serpent. Here you go. Now this is even weirder. This is weirder. The great Northmen, and screw the Teutonic, man, because they took from the North. I didn't even talk to you about the Teutons, but the Northmen had the Yesdriggle tree. Oh, if I can spell it. Yes. Oh, how do you spell that sucker, man? It's a beautiful word. Yesdriggle? No. Drizzle? All right, that tree, anyway, was the world tree. This tree, mind you, had it going where on top would be an eagle and the world serpent on the bottom. And the world serpent. And they ran the whole universe, those two. But there's a fucking squirrel who called trouble, who went up and down, playing the eagle. You know what the world serpent said to you? And then, and tell the world, you know what the eagle said about you? So those two are always rumbling, and the whole fucking earth is in turmoil all the time for that little fucking squirrel. The eagle and the serpent is an old motif of the Mexicano, or Olmec, or what do you want to call them from the New World? Right? That eagle and that serpent. All right, so the old world has Thor with his Molgen fighting that sucker, and nobody fights him. He flies away. But to get rid of that serpent, why they always count on that serpent? All right.
Odin gives up his eye. One eye. A god, right? Says, let's see what happens at the end. I want to see the end of it all. Ragnar. Oh, he gets it, man. He died. He's out. They tell him, all right, man, you get your eye and this is going to happen. You out. You and all your gods out. And they are out. You don't worship Odin today, do you, any of you? He out. Well, like Amun-Ra went out with the Egyptians, man. I said, when the fuck they fell, so did Amun-Ra fall. And when Egypt went, so did, Greece, so did Zeus fall. The Jew hangs on, man. That's why in the poem I once said, oh, noble survivor. Because they still hold on with their Jehovah. That's sick. Right, that's been way back, right? Tiamat is gone. Marduk is gone. Marduk had 2 cocks, man. He wanted to show he was really a creative thing. When they show this chick with many tits, right? Who's this chick with many tits? What's her? She's a Venus or something. She has many boobies on her breast. All right, this guy had 2 cocks. But it did do Tiamat did. That's in the Gilgamesh. That's before the Bible. This is how they used to write. Right? What is that called? What are those wedges called? Right. I could never pronounce it. No. So, cuneiform, did you say? I say cuneiform all the time. But it's not it, is it? What is it? Cuneiform. Yeah. All right. Before the Egypt bit, the picture, which is phonetic. If you drew an owl, Egyptian owl, it doesn't mean an owl. It means the sound that they have of an owl. The cut is beautiful, the way they do the cut. See, the cock is obvious. They do the cock 2 ways. I'll show you the cock. That's the way they do it. And then they do it like this. Come. 2 ways. Oh, 3 ways. Man, all right, yes. On land. Walking. Begin play. All right, the cut is beautiful. This is the way to do the cut. And obviously it is so. It's like Aries. It's with reeds. Egyptians very delicate and beautiful. I prefer them over this shit, man. Just well, check out the Esdriggle tree. Check that out. And go through it, man. It's nice. The Norse people were really, really fine kinds of people. They had this called the All-Right. They had a court. If anything went wrong, they'd work it out in the court. They're very strong kinds of heads. Nice. You know. Not what you see in movies where they're always chopping each other up. All right. Oh, Thor, before he had to kill this sucker, was when he did, that killed him. The poisons of the snake fell on his head and he died. That's the death of the god. And Thor had his Mjolnir, that beautiful hammer, man. All right, he killed the giants with it. All the time. Well, they played a trick on Thor one day, using his hammer. And he hit, and he thought he was killing a giant. Well, he was hitting the earth. And made great big valleys. And made the mountains. He thought he was a great drinker. Big jug of wine. They stuck the end of the jug into the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean, 2 edges of it. He drank, and he couldn't empty it. But man alive, those days, they went down the 2 oceans. He drank a lot. All right. Then they played the great game on him. Doing in the world serpent, they gave him a cat, a pussycat. So you can't pick up that pussycat, Thor. Thor goes to pick up the pussycat, and he raises up one leg, and all the gods and everybody tries to get scared. Because that's the end. Once you pick up the world serpent, you're finished. The tree is uprooted. And Thor's destroyed. But just one poor. All illusion that they laid on to him. Now that's all called mythology today. Huh? I love those kind of things, though, because it's so intelligent, whoever put it there. Who put it there? You can call it your Greek thing, the blind Homer. All right? That wise old immortal bard put that there. I wonder. I really wonder. It took many and many to relate it and keep on relating it. In Iceland, the Christians only knocked out Thor. They're death now. This is the 13th century.
the Christians had the whole world already, or something, or the Muslims, or something happened. Yeah, the Muslims had 500 AD, came Muhammad and all that. It was all religious. Except in Iceland, they carried on from the Scandinavians. So comes a priest, a missionary, to Iceland in the 12th century to try to change it, to bring them Christ. A woman comes screaming out, "Bring your Christ will meet Thor tonight at 12 o'clock. Imagine Thor with his Mosen meeting Jezebel. Wow. Get banned, but what is Thor? It's a beautiful man. Meeting Jezebel, 12 o'clock at what time at night? To battle. Christ never showed up. He got so bugged Thor one day, he grabbed that fucking world serpent, he chopped off the biggest head of a bull, carried him in his arm, and told the giant, "Drive me on this rope all along this leg where the fucking world serpent is." And they went, going, because the giant's scared, because Thor can always kill the giant with his hammer. So, going along it, and suddenly his feet, when he grabs the world serpent, he throws the head first for bait. The world serpent comes up and grabs the head. Thor, with his feet, is like skiing along the bottom of the lake, by grabbing him, and he goes, and he really wants to do him in, but lets him down, because it's not the time yet. Scared that world serpent. Scared the shit out of him, and fit him in. But what did the world serpent do back to him? So poisons on him. And they were burning and dying, so Thor died. They all died. You don't worship Thor today, do you? None of you do. They did 700, 800 years ago. Weird, right? Is it weird? I use that word because it's a happy word. For me, it's weird. It's nice that they did.